How long will a catastrophic injury lawsuit take? In my experience, catastrophic injury litigation typically will take somewhere between 1 and 3 years. And while a lot of lawyers might try to sugarcoat this or dodge the question or underestimate it, I'm going to break down for you some of the stages of the litigation process in a catastrophic injury case. Hi, I'm Andrew Iacobelli. I'm a personal injury lawyer with Iacobelli Law Firm. We practice in Florida, Ontario, and Texas, and I handle complex catastrophic injury litigation cases. I was a former insurance defense lawyer defending insurance companies and large corporations, and now I take that insider knowledge and I try to apply it to every case so I can help my clients navigate the system and maximize their recovery after a serious injury. So when we get involved, some of the immediate things we need to do is investigate liability, the ability to prove it's someone else's fault so that we can trigger that insurance company to ultimately pay you for the harms and losses. We also investigate things like insurance coverage, the identity of the parties, who are the defendants. It's not always obvious. Sometimes there may be an individual, but we have to look behind that. Is there a corporation? Is there an employer? Owners of the premises or the vehicle? Catastrophic injury claims are high-stakes cases for insurance companies. There's often a lot of money at risk to them, and so they will spend the money, the time, and the effort to mobilize quickly. So it's important we do the same thing. And so the beginning is mobilizing and investigating so that we can protect you from the defenses that the insurance company is already setting up. The initial investigation can take weeks, but more often it takes months because we're waiting on other custodian of records to disclose records. We have to put the proper entities on notice to preserve documents, recordings, video, etc. Concurrent with that, there's treatment. Part of our function is helping our clients obtain treatment, identifying resources for them to maximize their ability to get better. Following that, litigation typically starts. The filing of a lawsuit. It's a legal document, it's filed in court, it's served on the defendants or the parties that were at fault for your harms and your losses. That can also take months. We have to draft the pleadings, we have to file the pleadings, we have to get them served personally in most cases. The defendant then has to share that information, and we do as well, with their insurance company, so that their insurance company will then assign defense counsel and file pleadings in response. Following the initial pleadings phase, cases go into what's called discovery phase. Every civil case, every personal injury and catastrophic injury case has a discovery process. Documents that are being exchanged by the parties that will usually include 911 calls, police reports, CCTV footage, dash cam footage, photographs. If it's a premises case, it could involve all kinds of things related to the property and premises. That type of information is exchanged in paper in addition to all damage documentation that exists. And when I say damages, I mean all the documentation that supports the injured parties' harms and losses. Medical records, x-ray reports, other diagnostic imaging reports, employment records, and tax returns if there's an income loss. And we have a whole other video on talking about the different types of losses and how that's calculated. So there are documents that support that. In addition to that, there's usually a oral discovery, okay? And so that's where the insurance company, through their representative, gets an opportunity to learn more about the person through a meeting. That's the discovery phase. There's more to it. Your lawyer will take care of the vast majority of that. That's the majority of the case, really, once it's in litigation, is the discovery phase. The next phase is mediation or negotiation phase. That could also be considered opportunities to settle phase. So once the lawsuit is well underway, the information has been exchanged, expert opinions and reports supporting your losses, your harms have been exchanged, more often than not, there is a mediation. Many times it's mandatory, But even where it's not mandatory, the parties almost always engage in mediation. Mediation, without going into too much detail in this video, is a process where the parties come together with their lawyers and there's a negotiation facilitated through a mediator. You're not going to be put on the spot. You're not going to be asked questions. Your lawyer will be there for you. And the majority of the time, you'll be alone with your lawyer, and your lawyer will be negotiating on your behalf. If your case settles at mediation, that will be the end of it. Your case will be concluded. That is usually several months after the discovery phase, because the parties want to have all of the information available so that they can make the best use of the mediation. For you and your lawyer, it's the opportunity to maximize the claim, and for the insurance company, it's for them to really understand the risks that they're facing if they don't settle with you. Now, what happens if your case doesn't settle? Well, then you move on to the next phase, and that would be the trial phase. Typically a jury trial in most personal injury matters and catastrophic injury claims. And that's where you get to go to court. Your lawyer will present your case to a jury of your peers, your community, and ask the jury to decide how much money to award you for the harms and losses. Statistically, very few cases make it all the way to the conclusion of trial. Most cases settle somewhere along that track. And that's why I give that range of 1 to 3 years on average. Of course, if a case goes all the way to trial, it can take longer. Sometimes it's the courthouse availability and trial date availability that can push a case to go longer. When your case resolves, if it's through settlement, somewhere through that litigation phase, the insurance company will pay you. The payout is usually immediately, but there are certain circumstances where either because the person is very young still, or there's a serious cognitive issue, situations where money is paid into what we call a structured settlement, or a portion of the money, so that the payouts are structured over time, and it's really designed to protect the person. The reason why it often takes longer for a catastrophic injury claim to settle is because you and your lawyer want to capture and maximize all of the damages, all of the harms, all of the losses, not just what's been incurred, but often more importantly is the future losses, so that you have money set aside for yourself for the resources that you may need in the future. Minor injury cases could settle much quicker because there's not as much on the line, there's not as much to assess in terms of the harm and losses, but a catastrophic injury case requires a very, very detailed analysis to really make sure you're capturing all of the money you're entitled to. Usually, the ultimate result is worth the time that it took to get there. It's also important to know that there might be other resources in the interim available to you. Speak to your lawyer about what other resources might be available. One of the factors that can cause a little bit of a delay in a case is really establishing what the future care costs will be. We refer to that as a life care plan. That could be typically a physiatrist, occupational therapists are often involved. The life care planner needs to know where you are in terms of your medical recovery. Have you plateaued? Are you still improving? So that they can really assess what the future looks like for you. So part of it is the litigation, of course, but another part of it is also just the natural process of the body following a serious and traumatic event. Also really important to remind all of our clients that when you settle your case, your claim is permanently closed. You cannot go back. It's your one and only opportunity to obtain the recovery for the harms, for the losses. You only get that one time. Once settled, you cannot go back. So that's also why we're extremely cautious and deliberate in every step we take to make sure that we've covered everything, so that when you sign the release and close your case, you can do so confidently, knowing you gave yourself the best opportunity to maximize your recovery. What can you do to help keep your case moving smoothly and efficiently? Number one, stay in touch with your lawyer. Keep them informed of how you're doing, your situation. Follow the advice, obviously, of your lawyer. If they're recommending things. Complete all the appointments that are required of you. Every case is unique, so speak to your lawyer about anything else you may be able to do to help advance your case to conclusion. We hope you enjoyed this topic and found it informative. Reach out to us by telephone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and request a free consultation. You can chat with us or submit a contact form on our website. All of our contact details are listed in the show notes below.